When Britney Spears shaved her head in 2007, the incident sparked widespread speculation over whether the pop star was experiencing a mental health break. The then 25-year-old checked into a rehab facility after the incident. Over a decade later, Spears revealed that the hair change was her FU to the world. Everyone thought it was hilarious. "Look how crazy she is," she wrote in The Woman in Me. "Even my parents acted embarrassed by me, but nobody seemed to understand that I was simply out of my mind with grief. My children had been taken away from me." This is one of many revelations in Spears' memoir, which hit shelves Tuesday. The book, and the widespread buzz around it, has underscored how celebrity memoirs have become a vehicle for stars, especially women, to reclaim autonomy over their stories. While the genre has always had broad appeal, some experts and fans say its allure now extends beyond a demand for behind-the-scenes gossip. Celebrity gossip gets very maligned as useless gossip, but it is a way to discuss human behavior, said Ashley Hamilton, 32, co-host of the podcast Celebrity Memoir Book Club. With Spears, for example, the prevailing public narrative around her was that she was a person who needed to be contained. Even her fans have taken Spears' social media behavior as evidence that she is erratic or in need of help. Spears was released from her conservatorship in 2021. Just last month, police did a wellness check at Spears' home after people made 911 calls citing an Instagram video she had up showing her dancing with fake knives. Spears clarified in a later post that the knives were fake and she was just trying to imitate fellow artist Shakira. "It's terrible that people talk about her that way," said Kat Hoggard-Wagley, 30, a fan of Spears who posted her thoughts about the memoir on TikTok. "There are still people, not just celebrities, who are dealing with what she has dealt with in the mental health care industry." The late 90s and early 2000s, a time in which Spears made headlines almost daily, was a particularly unforgiving era for female stars, Wagley said, because gossip magazines appeared intent on humiliating these celebrities. Reading Spears' own words helped give Wagley an added perspective on how the era also shaped people who grew up consuming these headlines. "Women my age went through the culture that Spears did, and at a different level we experienced the misogyny that she experienced," Wagley, who is a therapist based in Indiana, said. "When someone goes out there and gets vulnerable, it gives people permission to get vulnerable with themselves," she added. Spears' book comes on the heels of the release of recent female celebrity memoirs by Jada Pinkett Smith and Julia Fox. All three used their books to share how they felt controlled or misunderstood in their interpersonal and professional lives. Fox's Down the Drain touches on her memories of a tumultuous childhood, her strained relationship with her parents, and past experiences with drug abuse. Celebrity memoirs seem to prove over and over again that just because you see one side of a person doesn't mean you know someone, said Hallie Brown, 27, who posted about Fox's book on TikTok. Brown said she only ever heard Fox's name in reference to her past dating history with Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West. "A lot of people don't remember that celebrities are people," Brown said, "and I think celebrity memoirs are a really good tool for actually just humanizing the people that you see on screens all the time." Claire Parker, co-host of the Celebrity Memoir Book Club podcast, said these days the cultural gravity of the celebrity memoir is less about the tea hashed out and more about how stars' experiences mirror that of their fans. Beyond grappling with adverse mental health, anguish, or loss, Parker said there is a frequent motif of personal joy and self-discovery across the memoirs penned by female celebrities. "We're 30 and we're like, oh my god, if you don't have it together by tomorrow, you've missed the boat," she said. But she said the women behind these stories are seemingly on the other side, saying, "Your life doesn't end at 32. Kristen McLean, a book industry analyst at Circana, a firm that tracks consumer behaviors and trends across industries, said the popularity of the genre stems from these books usually being both timely and relatable. And in the case of the highest profile authors, it's a chance to tell their own story and control their own narrative in a 24/7 celebrity news cycle where they are often at the mercy of outside observers," McLean said in an email to NBC News. At the end of the day, readers like Brown said they are drawn to the fact that celebrities are people, and that's the biggest draw of all. "To get something from Britney's actual mouth is just extremely special to us," says superfan Lucy Rose, who has spent most of her career touring the UK as a Britney impersonator. The singer's new book deals with her experience of living under a court-imposed order which had given Britney's dad, Jamie Spears, Spears control over many aspects of her life for 13 years. It's only been 2 years since she's been able to be open with the wider world after that arrangement, known as a conservatorship, was dissolved. Fans like Lucy, 34, say the star's honest account makes it a must-read, and she's hopeful Britney sets the record straight on rumors that have circulated around her for years. "I don't feel like she's ever answered them," she says. "She's handled it really well and just risen above it all of the time." In the memoir, Britney details how everything from her finances and access to her children down to what she was allowed to eat and drink were controlled and monitored. Hearing her idol's version of events will be taken as gospel, Lucy Rose adds, so it's a big deal. Britney's openness and the significance of her being able to at last tell her own story is what has struck fans like 28-year-old Kurt from Sheffield. "It's refreshing from a fan's point of view just to see her in control again and to get a more authentic person," he says. "Because it's coming directly from Britney, I think a lot of fans can rejoice for the first time," says Kurt. "It just obviously makes me want to rally around her more." He couldn't wait to get his hands on a copy of his idol's book and spent Monday at a special screening of Crossroads, a 2002 film starring the singer, while he waited for the book to be released. But not everyone had to wait so long. Podcasters Claire Parker and Ashley Hamilton got exclusive early access and have already devoured it cover to cover. "I read it in one sitting, non-stop," says Claire. The New York-based duo host a celebrity memoir book club podcast, and Claire says, "We like to think we did our undergrad in Britney and our masters." Reflecting on what she's read, Ashley feels there is a lot of tragedy in these pages, and it is not tragedy that happens by accident. It is pain that was inflicted on her by the people who in her life are supposed to protect her. One thing Britney addresses in the book is her high-profile relationships, particularly with Justin Timberlake, and the way she was portrayed as unfaithful and promiscuous. Justin Timberlake, Kevin Federline, her dad, her mum, her sister, everyone who should have loved her, let her down, says Ashley, and she expresses the truth of what happened and then releases it. Readers looking for new revelations might be disappointed, as Claire says the book is just confirmation of all the worst rumors, and while some celebrity memoirs might be accused of presenting stars in the most positive light, we really do get to know her through this book, says Ashley. Another place we get to see Britney being her authentic self is social media, says Lucy Rose, particularly on Instagram. Recent videos of her dancing with what appear to be knives sparked concern, and Britney has previously criticized fans who have reported welfare worries to police. "So unacceptable for cops to listen to random fans and come into my home unwarranted," she posted on Instagram, saying they were not real knives. People are saying she's crazy, they're making up conspiracy theories, saying it's not Britney, says Lucy Rose, but she thinks at the moment, Britney is showing you what she wants to show you. "I think we're just so used to seeing celebrities perfect, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care if her hair's a mess or makeup's around her eyes. I've gained a lot of respect for her lately, since she's been free. I've learned that she's very strong and courageous," she adds. Spears' story is told with the same approachable warmth that made her a star, and outside the defining events of the last 15 years, she spins a good yarn, whether describing her pregnancy cravings, food and sex apparently, or reliving her terror at dancing with a snake at the 2001 MTV Awards. Her family aside, there are no real villains or scandals to be uncovered, but nor are there any great revelations about Spears' music or inner life. What we are left with, not for the first time, is a cautionary tale about fame and the corrupting influence of money, and just maybe a glimmer of hope for a woman whose adult life has been dictated by others. "It's time for me not to be someone who other people want," she writes. "It's time to actually find myself."